I attempted to make a inner Kuro plush a while ago, and it seemed to be going okay until I put it all together, and it wasn't that great. So because for the time being I have gotten back into working with polymer clay, we're going to be making a little figurine of inner Kuro. Specifically, I wanted to make a kind of scene instead of just making just inner Kuro. So I'm going to be taking inspiration from the scene with him in the birthday cake. I'm a little surprised at myself considering not that I did a lot of sculpting with clay in my past, and it wasn't even that good. But I've found that even when I take long breaks from certain crafts, when I come back to it, I just need to, you know, fail at one initial project and then I'm fine again. We have cheap Walmart polymer clay because I'm not that invested in this craft to get the really, really expensive kind. We have some aluminum foil. Now this is much thinner than aluminum foil that you would probably get at the grocery store for, you know, that you keep in your kitchen drawer for food. This is actually for hairstyling. It's the same thing, it's just incredibly thin, so it's easier to fold. I've had this for years and I actually kind of prefer it versus thicker aluminum foil for these projects, just a lot easier to work with. I actually got this mat at the dollar store or $1.25 store. You know, these are really expensive, so this is quite nice. And I want to use this stand as a base. Now this came from one of my My Hero Academia figures, but these kind of things, I feel like take up a lot of unneeded space, or at least for how I organize things now. So I might regret taking this off and ruining it later, but I want to use this right now. So I'm going to use this as base. However, I can't really mold upon this because oven baked clay. We're going to put it in the oven later. This is plastic, it will melt. So I will slowly sculpt some things, bake them, and then have to add them on here later. I will be painting this, and I will be, I think, hiding some things, so, you know, these little pegs, you can't see them. But now I'm just going to be making the base of inner Kuro with an aluminum foil. It's going to take up a lot of space. It's going to make the overall design or overall sculpt a lot lighter when most of it is aluminum foil. So here are the individual pieces we have done so far. Here we have the cake. I'm not gonna even attempt to try to write Mahiru. His name on the this part right here is supposed to be, I think, a bar of chocolate. I'm not even gonna try to write his name on there. I did not make the little lighter he has in his hand. I might make it, but it would be so goddamn tiny that I'm afraid it would just crumble. So we don't know. I'm so happy the tail is standing upright and it's fine. It's a little rough around the edges, but it still turned out great. And then we have the base, which again was supposed to be mimic the background, which I think turned out pretty freaking cool so far. One thing I didn't do at all is I could have like maybe burned these little nubs off or whatever, or maybe imprinted the bottom of each of these figures, make an indent so I can easily, okay, this is where they're gonna sit, so they're gonna plop on here, because they're kind of eyesore and I want to get them off. I kind of want to add more to this base, but there's so much going on. I forgot if I mentioned this earlier in the video. I think I might buy some chains, because there is an aspect of like chains and locks in Kuro's mind, is make a little hole at the bottom of this cake, which I should have indented while it was still moldable, but hopefully it is thin enough. Then I can just do this to make a mess. Let's see. Okay, already kind of working out. Just need to make a little bigger. Most of this is aluminum foil, so I have a very thin layer of clay over these little figures, so it's pretty easy to carve into this little design. If this was all made out of clay, I think it would be much, much harder to carve this little hole. it's not all the way flat on there, but it is enough that I think it's okay with gluing it. So I'm gonna super glue this guy on here. Kuro, I don't know how I'm gonna do Kuro. We might do it like this. Kuro is a little farther back. We might do it like that because so his tail can cover this other nub. So last time I think you saw this, it's been a little while since I worked on this because I was working on this stuff and getting frustrated because I didn't know what to do. But I think I super glued this on, which he fell off a few times just because the glue set everywhere else perfectly fine, but it just wasn't setting very quickly on his feet and his tail. Anyways, so I added chains here. As you can see, that was a whole... So to finish this piece off, I decided to get rid of this, you know, put something else right here because as cool as this looks, it does seem to be a little empty. I'm not entirely sure if the chains were a good idea or not. Ideally, I wish the base was smaller because I kind of just like this, but we don't have that and I want to add more to it. So just still using polymer clay. We're going to be adding a lock. Okay, I started making this because y'all, you see me, you know, with this clay, so I'm like, it's not that much different. Not even halfway done. Just propping this on here. Oh my god, I hate this. I hate this chain. It needs to be something else, but holy shit, this looks so fucking ugly. Hate it. Okay, I figured out what I can do. You know how there's a few Servamps who have a patch on the, you know, side of their arm. I think Hyde, Lily, and Kuro have it. I don't think anyone else has one, but they're all in indicators of like, okay, what order, which Servamp they are. So Kuro has the Roman numeral for 1 on there, so maybe I'll do that. I think that would look a lot nicer. Also, I didn't like the color of that block, but it was the most accurate from what I saw in the show, but it was just really fucking ugly. That was dumb. I can use cardboard. Why did I roll a piece out of clay? I don't know. All right, and here is the finished sculpture. I think it turned out really good. A lot better than I actually thought. I mean, I'm still kind of iffy about the chains. Still wish the base was smaller so I could just have the cake and Kuro. But I still really like it. And now I have more stuff for the Servamp fandom. Oh my god, if you're part of the Servamp fandom, please interact or link or help. I need more content. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you all next time.